Hi there, this is Eyeball from Lunchbox TV, and I'm here with Jim from the Grange Airsoft.com. These guys are big proponents of the POLARSTAR brand, a lot of the HPA systems like the Wolverine Hydra and the Vulcan systems. They're actually the only supplier of the Vulcan system in the UK, is that correct?
As far as we're aware, yes.
Okay, brilliant. So, to people that haven't really heard of POLARSTAR, it's not a particularly big thing in the UK. Would you be able to just sort of give a brief overview?
Yep. POLARSTAR system's been going in the US for about 4 years now. They're on to version 3 of the equipment, so it's a very tried and tested system. What it does is it takes all the internals out of your gun, so gearbox, piston, motor, and replaces it with a high pressure air computer controlled system that gives you significantly greater consistency in your shot, high rate of accuracy, programmability in terms of what you want the gun to do, and incredibly good trigger response. Basically taking it up to the level of sort of Systema and beyond in terms of what the gun is capable of doing. But the key thing that it gives you is the capacity to know that you are never ever going to have to change out a broken piston or a stripped gear ever again, because they are just not in the gun. In the POLARSTAR Fusion engine there are 2 moving parts, which is the poppet valve and the air nozzle. In the new drop-in units that have come out, so the POLARSTAR Jack, the Wolverine SMP, the Wolverine Hydra, and the Inferno, which is also about to be released, they just have a single moving part, which is the air nozzle. So there is literally nothing to go wrong in the gun, and the mindset behind the companies is that in all cases they were created by guys who airsoft, and they're guys who went for long periods of time playing the game, got into it because it was fun, which after all is all why we get into it, because it's enjoyable, we like doing it, and hit that point where they realised that for the last 6 months all they'd done is go to games with multiple guns to backups to the ones that went wrong, and spent their times in safe areas stripping out gearboxes and replacing pistons, and just realised, hit that point of going, this is meant to be fun, it's meant to be easy, and I want this to be fun again. And that was the whole ethos behind all these various companies getting into the HPA scene and creating these systems, because they wanted guns that were just made airsoft fun again, and took all that hassle out of it, all that taking multiple guns and backups out. And that's what these systems are about, by having very, very few, in most cases just one moving part, and that's fairly well reinforced. Literally, if there is anything that can go in these units, it's a 5p O-ring. 5p O-ring. And all the you don't even need anything specialised to actually open them up to do any changes or maintenance.
That's great. I heard you mention earlier the programmability of the units. So obviously there's various things you can achieve.
Yeah.
POLARSTAR, like high rate of fire.
There's a lot of different things. The fire control units within them give you a huge amount of settings and variations in the guns. Basically what you generally find is you go more up the price range on the systems, that FCU allows you to do more things. So there's lots of us that like to tinker and play and get it absolutely tuned absolutely perfectly right, in which case those high value systems allow you to go much further into the functionality of the gun for setup and programmability and for tweaking all those little bits on it. People just want to pick up a gun and shoot. The lower price systems have a lot more of those features just set as standard defaults, and you just mess around with the few little settings you're worried about, and it makes it a much simpler job. So there's everything in the range for different people for how they like to work. The FCU does allow you to do rate of fire, but it also allows you to do everything from that all the way through things like the dwell time on the nozzle. So if you want to make sure that the air nozzle on the gun is moving at exactly the same speed your mags feed at, so you always get a perfect feed, you can program that. It's to that sort of level of programmability at the top end on the guns.
So if you were to say you've just moved on from AEGs, you're sick of them breaking all the time, you want a bit more of that programmability, what would you do, what would be the cheapest way to get into this kind of scene?
Okay, at the moment, cheapest unit on the market is the new POLARSTAR Jack, which is their entry-level product. I believe the Wolverine Inferno, when it finally releases, will be same sort of price tag, maybe a little lower, but we've got to wait to see on final pricing on that still. Both of those are straight line systems, so they're good for V2 or V3 setups, no problem at all on those, or support weapons as well, so 249s and so on. The Hydra, which is the one that's just released from Wolverine, and the POLARSTAR F1, which we're led to believe should be releasing around December time, both have offset nozzle systems, so they allow you to go into P90s, M14s and so on, and those guns that obviously the straight line nozzles don't allow you to go into. So it's starting to get a lot more variation on those. The offset nozzle system is a little more awkward to fit, so what we're doing basically in conjunction with Wolverine, we're doing a whole series of P90s and M14s pre-built off the shelf to purchase. We also do full installs for people, because some of us confident enough to open up a gun and want to play around with the internals, others less so, but if it's not your thing opening the gun up, it's not a problem. You can still come across this technology. We'll do the whole install for you, set the gun up correctly so you know everything's going to be working perfectly.
Okay. So if anyone wants to get hold of a POLARSTAR unit or maybe a Wolverine or one of the Vulcan units, they should go to
GrangeAirsoft.com or give us a call. The number's on the website as well, or visit through the Facebook page. Any of those will get you through to us, and we'll be able to tell you everything you need to know, talk you through on the setup on it. You're welcome to come down to the main shop as well. We've got a 60-metre firing range there, so we can take you through all the tech, make sure you're fully up to speed on everything.
That's brilliant, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.